And just like that, we saw the doors close last night on another NBA first-round playoff matchup between the San Antonio Spurs and the Portland Trailblazers. Now, most of us, I think, going in, had San Antonio taking care of business in short order. I don't think that's a surprise to anybody. But dare I say that there was some unforeseen theater in this series, right? Specifically in Game 2, when Victor Wembanyama went down and we were unsure of his status moving forward in the series. And I got to tell you, the way that he fell, knocked out, right, like went to sleep, I for sure thought that concussion protocol was going to extend a little bit longer than it did. He only ended up missing one game. Now, even with all that said, right, the theater that came of that, the worry that I think people who thought San Antonio was going to win had, or people that thought San Antonio was going to make it far through the playoffs had, etc. I still love the way that San Antonio took care of business thereafter, right? Like, if the Portland Trailblazers had any type of killer instinct, I dang sure didn't see it. You know what I'm saying? Because San Antonio still took care of business, won that game without Victor, and then Victor comes back, and then it's all she wrote, right? If Portland wanted to have any chance in this series, they had to take Game 3, right? Game 3 was on their home court. It was fresh off San Antonio's best player getting injured and not being there, and they just didn't take care of business. Now, San Antonio has shown this season that they could win with Victor, without Victor. Obviously, that becomes less true the more talented teams you play, right? Like the farther along you get into the playoffs. But at least in the regular season, they showed that they could win both with and without Victor Wembanyama. And that held true in the first round, and that was awesome to see. And that's one of my favorite things about the San Antonio Spurs team that I really wanted to touch on today, is that even though they're largely a young team, right, they do got some veteran pieces, the Harrison Barnes, De'Aaron Fox at this point. Even Cornette's been in the league for a minute now, right? So they do have a strong veteran presence. But when the bulk of your lineup is young, usually you make young team mistakes. You go through young team experiences in order to ultimately get to where you want to go. And it seems like, I think, through the maturity of their young players, specifically Wemby, specifically Castle, they've been able to, I don't want to say bypass that thing, but maybe experience those things in the regular season and be able to adapt to them, as opposed to needing to experience them in the playoffs to ultimately overcome them, right? Because I think a lot of great teams, even the Oklahoma City Thunder a couple of years ago, they had to go through these mistakes in the playoffs in order for them to overcome them, right? And maybe they do face some adversity later on, right? The San Antonio Spurs, that is, and they do have to, go back to the drawing board over the summer, come back and adapt to that. But as far as I've seen, with the maturity of their young team and the mixture of veteran leadership plus the maturity of their young guys, it seems like they've been able to work through a lot of those things in real time, either on the court or in the regular season, which is awesome to see. So I just love the fact that these guys don't cut corners, the San Antonio Spurs, that is. I love the fact that they compete at such a high level. They understand the opportunity that is at their feet, and they're not thinking we want to win 3 years from now when Vic is 25. They're thinking we want to win now because we know we have the talent and the team to win now. And I think that is something that is sometimes not taken seriously. I think a lot of times people will lean into the idea that they're young and give themselves the opportunity to grow, as opposed to like just taking what's in front of them. You know what I'm saying? So I think we got to give a pat on the back to the San Antonio Spurs and just the way that they compete, the way that they conduct themselves. And if this is where they're at right now, right, like, who knows where they'll be at down the road, but the fact that they're trying to take advantage of where they're at right now, I think is really special, right? It's not trust the process. It's right. It's we're trying to go for it, right? And I think any fan of basketball, anybody who appreciates high level competition in a league that sometimes feels void of that during regular seasons, when you're seeing these teams tanking the way that they are, et cetera, you have a team who is young, who has all the excuses in the world that they could make because they are young, and they don't make them, right? They don't make them. So I think we have to appreciate that. I think we have to acknowledge that. And I think we have to tip our caps to the San Antonio Spurs for the way that they continue to show up and compete. But let me know what you guys think. Peace.